Hi everyone!
Hi!
I'm Beth, and this is Ellie
Hi.
from Educating Ellie.
That's
The
me.
very same. Today we are going to be listing 10 things from Harry Potter, the books, that are not in the films, but we wish were in the films because they're quite important parts.
Number 1 of things in the Harry Potter books that weren't in the films. Wormtail strangling himself to death because he's riddled with guilt over the death of James and Lily and all of his friends.
Yeah, it's quite a redeeming point for Wormtail. Not that he really gets better as a character.
No, because he dies after that.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
there's the dying part.
Yeah.
Number 2. Lupin really wanted to go Horcrux hunting with the Golden Trio, but that didn't happen. In fact, Lupin didn't appear in that particular section of the film.
And the reason he wants to go is because he's knocked up Tonks and he's regretting it. He says, I made a grave mistake in marrying Tonks. I did it against my better judgment and I have regretted it very much ever since. I see, said Harry. So you're just going to dump her and the kid and run up with us? How much of a good scene would that be? With good old David Thewlis and... Thewlis.
Needed more Lupin in the films anyway.
The scene in the Ravenclaw Tower at the beginning of the Battle of Hogwarts, where Luna and Harry go to the Ravenclaw Tower to research the diadem. They are found by the Carrows. Professor McGonagall saves them, and then Snape jumps out a window.
Yeah.
Would have been a much better way.
Not in the Great Hall. And not with McGonagall sending the Slytherins off to the dungeon.
Just none of it. Also, it also just boils Luna's main role in the film down to being the interest of Neville's affection.
Yeah.
Which I'm not against, actually.
Yeah.
Possibly one of the only things the film does that I approve of.
Yeah, that's true.
And the Ravenclaw common room is a riddle.
Yeah.
That's
the important part. Number 4. House elves in the final battle. Why wasn't that included? I wanted to see some house elves knocking the shins off of Death Eaters with cleavers from the kitchen. Number 5.
Charlie Weasley. Full stop. Where is Charlie Weasley? In any of the films.
He was like my favourite Weasley.
And also Bill just doesn't get enough airtime.
Yeah.
He just appears in the 7 Harry scene and he's like, oh yeah, I got scratched by Fenrir Greyback.
And Percy.
And I'm getting married to Fleur.
One of the best bits with Charlie is when Hagrid takes Harry to see the dragons and Charlie's there. The pair of them moved right up to the fence and Harry followed. The wizard who had warned Hagrid not to come any closer turned and Harry realised who it was. Charlie Weasley!
We've got to keep that back out. Because number 6, calmly.
I think we all know what
Anyone who used to have a Tumblr account or is a fan of BuzzFeed knows what we're talking about. Asked Dumbledore calmly.
It's here, in written English.
Calmly.
Although, I have to say, I like both.
I feel like it really gives something to Michael Gambon's Dumbledore that
He was on edge. He was a loose cannon.
bit crazy.
He was a bit scary.
Number 7.
Number 7.
St. Mungo's.
This is a good one, and this is a very important one with Gilderoy Lockhart, which is funny, but also Nevilles Parents.
Seen in Order of the Phoenix at Christmas when Harry, Ron and Hermione walk around after Arthur Weasley's injury and they find Neville visiting his parents, who it just gives Neville another layer as a character. that he doesn't get in the book.
Yeah.
Like, obviously they mention his parents, but it's not the same.
It's not the same. So we have...
Again, said Mrs. Longbottom, sounding slightly weary. Very well, Alice dear, very well. Neville, take it, whatever it is. But Neville had already stretched out his hand, into which his mother dropped an empty Drooble's best blowing gum wrapper. Very nice, dear, said Neville's grandmother in a falsely cheery voice, patting his mother on the shoulder. But Neville said quietly, Thanks, Mum. If it doesn't make you want to cry, what does?
Number 8. And this is a personal annoyance of mine, and I don't know why, but it just annoys me a lot, is the fact that in the movies, James and Lily are not cast as who James and Lily should be. And I'm not saying that the casting choice of them is bad, like, they still, you know, generally you can believe that they're Harry's parents. It's the fact that they're not 21! Because Harry's parents were 21 when they died, and the actors for his parents in the films are not 21. I'm afraid they're not. This is the whole point of it, is the fact they were so young when they died.
Yeah, they're the casualty of war, and they had Harry at an extremely young age.
Yep.
They were not careful.
No.
Number 9.
Spew.
The Society for the Protection of Elfish Welfare. Where is it?
Where is Spew?
We'll never know.
Elf rights, people.
They're important. They don't just work for you, they work for themselves.
Finally.
This is one that I chose, and I just think it's a funny thing.
Yeah.
That, once again, loops all the way back to Lupin from the beginning of the video.
Yes.
And how the Tonks and Lupin scenario is drawn out across many books, because it's a very, very important role. In a way, they are the mirror of...
It's kind of like history repeating itself.
They're the mirror of James and Lily, and it's when Harry thinks that Tonks is in love with Sirius, which is why her Patronus has changed, and why she's so depressed after his death. She was in love with Sirius. I realise it's a very small detail, but the smaller, the easier it is to squeeze into a film, in my opinion.
Yeah. So, that is our 10 things that we wish were in the films but are not. They're only in the books. And I hope you enjoyed it. And please subscribe to Educating Ellie, as well as me, if you like it. And we'll be back with another video soon. Bye!
Bye!
Missed you. Managed.